Hello students, in today's video we will discuss about 10th chemistry first chapter, that is chemical reaction and equation. In this chapter we will discuss about the chemical reaction and equation and also discuss some important reaction related to this chapter. So we hope that you will understand all these reactions and revise it. Let us start. First, what is a chemical equation? A chemical equation is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formula, where in the reactant entities are given on the left hand side and the product entities are given on the right hand side. For example, magnesium plus oxygen, when react with each other, they will give magnesium oxide. So here magnesium and oxygen act as reactant, which is on the left hand side in the chemical equation, and magnesium oxide is product, which is on the right hand side of the chemical equation. Our next, that what is a chemical reaction? A chemical reaction is the process by which two or more substances react with each other to form new substance with different properties. There are the following changes which determines that the chemical reaction has taken place. Number 1, change in state, change in color, evolution of gas, change in temperature. If such kind of things happen in a reaction, that means the chemical reaction is taking place. If such kind of things is not take place in a chemical reaction, which means the reaction is not take place. What is a valence chemical equation? The chemical equation that shows the chemical reaction needs to be balanced. A balanced chemical equation occurs when the number of atoms involved in the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms in the product side. For example, zinc when react with sulfuric acid, it gives zinc sulfate and hydrogen on the product side. So the number of atoms of zinc on the reactant side is 1. Similarly, if you see that the number of atoms of zinc on the product side is also 1. Similarly, sulfur is 1 in reactant side and also 1 in product side. Oxygen is 4 on reactant side, so therefore same number of oxygen atom is present on the product side and same number of hydrogen are present on both sides. So that means the chemical equation is balanced. Discuss some other important reaction. Oxidation reaction, addition of the oxygen to a substance or removal of hydrogen from a substance is known as oxidation. For example, copper oxide react with hydrogen to change into copper and water. So here hydrogen getting oxygen from copper oxide to change into water. So the oxidation will occur at hydrogen because it is getting oxygen from the copper oxide. Our next reaction is reduction. What is reduction? Reduction reaction can be defined as the reaction that involves the removal of oxygen or the addition of hydrogen. For example, removal of oxygen. In this reaction, oxygen is removing from copper oxide, so the reduction is taking place at copper oxide because by removing oxygen, copper oxide is changing to copper, so the reduction takes place at copper oxide. Now we will discuss summary on the definition of the oxidation and reduction. So what is the actually difference between oxidation and reduction? Oxidation means the gain of oxygen. Reduction means the loss of oxygen. In oxidation there is loss of hydrogen. In reduction there is gain of hydrogen. In oxidation there is loss of electrons. In reduction there is gain of electrons. And in oxidation there is increase in oxidation number, while in reduction there is decrease in oxidation number. These are the some points of difference between the oxidation and reduction. What is exothermic reaction? The reaction in which heat energy is given out the reaction is known as exothermic reaction. For example, when carbon react with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide and some amount of heat is released. So you can also see in the picture that is the nuclear fusion, and in which heat energy is released. So the nuclear fusion is also a exothermic reaction. So the reaction which involves the release of energy is known as exothermic reaction. What are endothermic reaction? The reaction in which heat energy is absorbed is known as endothermic reaction. For example, calcium carbonate change into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide only when it absorbs some amount of energy. Similarly, the melting of ice is also an endothermic reaction. What are the precipitation reaction? A reaction in which insoluble salt produced is called precipitation reaction. For example, silver nitrate when react with sodium chloride, it gives sodium nitrate and silver chloride. Here, the precipitate of silver chloride is formed. So, that reaction is known as precipitation reaction. Neutralization. What are neutralization reaction? The interaction of an acid with base to form salt and water is called neutralization reaction. So let us take example, hydrochloric acid when react with sodium hydroxide, it gives NaCl and water. So HCl is acid and NaOH is base, and it gives NaCl which is salt and water. So this reaction is neutralization reaction. What is corrosion? It is slow eating up of metal by the action of air and moisture on their surfaces. Rusting is a special case of corrosion of iron, and the chemical formula of rust is Fe2O3XH2O, that is hydrated ferric oxide. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that you will enjoy this and that will help you in your study.